Sentry mode activated. Target acquired.
Hey there, hunters. Yes, I'm still alive. Today I got a little bit to talk about regarding the modding for Elden Ring that I'm working on. First thing is that I'm kind of annoyed that they dropped the patch out just kind of randomly because it basically wiped all my previous work, so I had to start over. I do have backups of my edited files now in case the game gets patched again, and I figured it would because the map bug and how gross arcane weapons are now that they're actually dealing damage. But if anyone knows how to actually easily import my data back into the regulation files and stuff without doing it line by line, please hit me up, like Discord, Twitter, something. I need some help with that. I don't think I want to do this from scratch again, and if they patch it and I have to put everything in line by line, I'm just gonna stop. Anyway, with that out of the way, I have a mod update to share with you guys since I made a lot of progress on it, and I'm gonna be uploading it to the Nexus by the time this video is up. So patch notes are in the description here and on the Nexus page, I'm sure, but I'll give a brief overview of the mod and what I'm trying to achieve here. So I'm a big ranged player, and so I've decided to do my first playthrough of Elden Ring entirely with bows, and I realized how bad of an idea that was. There is so much wrong with bows in this game, from crafting arrows to being just a nightmare because nobody sells the feathers, to them having no affinity options, having no scaling options, or any significant Ashes of War options. They don't scale at all. Most throwing items deal more damage than bows do. And all around, it was just such a headache to play that I feel like I needed to fix them. So what I had done to bows is that I increased their scaling by almost double. For reference, a Uchi-Katana has 35 strength and 56 dex scaling by default. A composite bow has 12 strength and 15 dex. So yeah, they get no damage from scaling. So basically, I doubled them across the board. And you can see that they do have decent damage now. It's not absurd, but it's something. I'm really trying hard not to make things overpowered at all, but I'm looking at bleed builds and melee and casters, and I don't think I'm gonna have that issue. So I'm gonna proceed as normal. So on top of adding scaling, I've also given most bows some kind of unique quirk to make them slightly different, because most of the bows were pretty boring before all this. They all had the same stats and basically did nothing different. So things I've added were Red Branch Bow getting more range like a longbow but having less damage. The Heart Bow is going to have innate sleep on all its arrows to make stealth gameplay more fun. The Albinauric Bow gives bonus damage if you're crouched because the Albinaurics can't walk. The Erdtree bows are now faith scaling holy damage bows that deal bonus damage to undead. Stuff like that. Every little weapon's going to get a small perk. And to help flesh out bows and give more player options, I've given them affinities, meaning that when you apply Ashes of War, you'll have the option of all the affinities to change their scaling, like heavy, keen, fire, lightning, cold, poison, bleed, all that stuff. This should let players play more unique bow builds like Faith or Int characters with bows. Of course, bows had no options for Ashes of War before, so I've expanded their list of available Ashes of War to be most of the non-weapon using ashes. Some look kind of weird, I know, but overall I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. The player should have many more options now for dealing with enemies who have closed in on them with these ashes. Bows aren't the only things I've changed too. There are plenty of other ranged options as well. Great bows now deal significantly more stamina damage, so you can actually break guards with them, something they really couldn't do before. Their great arrows now travel much faster than standard arrows, making them much better for sniping and hitting moving targets. And I couldn't add elements to great bows or most of the ashes because the game really doesn't like great bows. If I two-hand an Ashes of War, it would always use whirligig for some reason. I don't know why, but one-handed they would work. And I could not add fire, cold, lightning affinities to great bow. They just did not want to work. So instead, I just improved their scaling, and with that and the arrow speed, they just feel a lot comfier to use. Crossbows got a pretty big revamp. Now crossbows are a lot stronger now, triple damage, which sounds crazy, I know. But that means that rather than hitting for 150 with the fully upgraded crossbow, you're hitting for 450, which is still nothing, but it's good. I want crossbows to be a decent ranged option for those who don't want to invest stats in them since they don't scale, and you just need something to pull or finish off enemies safely. So while they're a lot stronger now, I've also reduced the bolt carry capacity limit from 99 to 20 for standard bolts and to 15 for elemental and status bolts. Elemental and status bolts now apply 3 times the amount of element and status, so they're really nice to flick at bosses or an enemy that only need 2 or 3 bolts to apply a status now instead of 6 to 10. But due to the carry limit, you really can't use them all the time. So pocket poisons are nice, right? Hand ballistas got scaling because I wanted them to have scaling, and their bolts travel even faster than great arrows now, but that's ultimately the only thing I've done to them. They're kind of nasty. There are some other changes, I'm sure it's in the notes. The only thing I still need to fix though is that the names of bows with affinities aren't in the game, so they just show up as like question mark weapon question mark, which isn't a big deal to me, but I do want to fix it. I just can't figure out how to add names or change descriptions in the game. So again, if anyone knows how, please hit me up on Twitter or Discord. I would love some help with this. This is my first time modding. But yeah, that's basically what I got for now. This range change should be available for everyone on the Nexus. If you can, please give me any feedback or bugs or things I might have missed with it. And if you're a modder that's more experienced than I am, please help. I'm pretty dumb with this. But yeah, thanks for watching and good luck out there, hunters.